While I was shuffling, the only card that popped out was the first card, and it was the Chariot upright. So they always want to make sure that this message was meant for you. And I mean, this is the Cancer's card, so good. You're upright, so that makes it really good. Like, you're not feeling defeated or being socially anxious or anything of that nature. This is right next to Temperance, okay? And Temperance is upright too. So I see a lot of balance going on here. And a lot of trying to bring things together, trying to integrate opposing things, okay? Because here, we have dark and light, opposing differences like unconscious and conscious. Here, this is this like a sexual symbol, as well as integrating things that don't go together well, like trying to make peace. And here, with the wings, talking about love and being creative about it. And then I'm always drawn to the star on top of the charioteer's head, because it has 8 points, 8 talking about cycles and movement and taking charge, making changes, taking action, just like a rebirth. Also about recognition and attaining something. Like, this is the person who would revolt. Like, I'm taking charge. Everything has to be a certain way, and here's how it's going to be. This can also be about changing mind. Not somebody who's indecisive, but somebody's out here to make somebody change their mind. Or maybe you have changed your mind, or you're wanting to change your mind. Then again, you could be the one wanting to change someone else's mind. But also with this star, I think of the Hermit, okay? Because he has that star inside his lantern, and he's drawing people in. So again, you want like this change of mind. You want there to be infinite possibilities. You're taking action to regenerate something and change somebody's mind. You want them to reflect. And also you have to reflect. Because here, you really know yourself. You're selfless, and I think that goes with the Hermit. But you work hard, like you're tenacious. And you have the willpower. You're wanting to show progress. You want to triumph. But yeah, you're just trying to make opposites whole. And if you're not bold, this says you need to be bold. And it's usually about the past and trying to take that somewhere into the future. But when it talks about, this is a love reading, okay? So this talks about loving yourself first. Or is it just saying that you have done all the reflection and you really love yourself, and now you're headed on this journey. You're going out, okay, to things that matter. Like you're leaving this superficial behind, and you're going out maybe seeking true love because you've already loved yourself. Or if you haven't loved yourself yet, you're going out on that journey. You're going out to find the Hermit, that mentor, so you can just get to know yourself and love yourself. Now, I just want to bring up too, not only is it next to Temperance, but at the very end of this spread, it's the Fool. And there's both like a really good background. Each person is leaving one area and going out to another area, almost like on a new beginning, okay? And each one has a star in the reading, okay? So it could be about recognition, because the star, when I think of the star, I think somebody wants recognition and somebody wants hope or has hope. Maybe too much hope, but maybe a little too optimistic. Could be if there's like a long distance love and you want to travel to see them. You may feel like you're not good enough even though you love yourself. So you may want to prove yourself. You could meet somebody who's like your hero and, save you. But here, to me, this is like you being the hero, and you want somebody to adore you. Not that you're going to go in and save them, but you want to be the one who's doing this, and you want somebody to adore you, not just for that, but just in general. So with the Fool, it can talk about like life on the road, going on tours, even possibly backpacking, because he's doing this. But to me, I just see that as starting out on a journey. And that's at the end of your reading, okay? So they go together, like at the beginning. It's like you have this drive and determination with the Chariot, and that's you because you're the Chariot card. And at the end, I don't know if you're taking a new course or if you're still on the journey. And maybe you didn't get what you wanted, but you're still on the journey to get the same thing or to find it somewhere else. Also in your reading, you have the Seven of Wands upright. And with this Chariot, some of this reminds me of a career reading, but I know it's love. But just for some of you, it says you could be successful in public speaking or in the teaching field. But mainly I see you have this battle that you know you have to fight in order to enjoy the fruits of your victory. So it could be in work, okay? But as far as love, like you have to go and triumph in this battle if you want to, like you're going to have to fight if you want what you want. If you want that really happy relationship, maybe you've already loved yourself or you need to, but then you're going to have to fight against all odds. Like you have hope against all odds, or in order for this to work, you're going to have hope against all odds. So like you have a slim chance, but that doesn't mean there's not a chance, okay? See here, like this would be giving up before there's even been a chance. You're not giving up. This card is like fighting to the death almost, especially when they're both together. But like you have direction. You don't doubt yourself. You're not delaying. You really are fighting to make something work. Could be you're fighting for a long distance relationship, or you're just fighting. Like you're trying to prove that it can work. We have the Ace of Swords right next to the Seven of Wands. Okay. So with the Ace of Swords and the Chariot, talks about acing a job interview for some of you who are for some reason getting a work reading in this love reading. Okay. But as far as love, it talks about winning a mental competition because we have these thoughts here. So you probably had to do a lot of battling in your mind, okay, as far as what to do with this relationship, or maybe somebody was opposed to you and you had to kind of like battle the things they said that may have been hurtful. Like you felt like they were against you and you had to battle. But then this is winning mentally, like not letting it get you, not letting it, fuck with your head, okay? This is always like victorious to me when I see it in a love reading. Sometimes it can portend disasters, but it says, they can be prevented. So that's good. Like, whatever happens, you're winning overall because you have the Fool upright. You have the Ace of Swords upright. You're fighting. You have Chariot, Temperance upright. The only card you have in reverse is one I haven't talked about yet in your actual reading. I did pull one more card. Well, I looked at the bottom of the card, and I think it might be relevant. Or else I wouldn't have looked at it. Okay. That's what I get for being greedy with my cards. All right, thinking about Temperance. So it's a little cold. I don't know why. It's like 90 degrees outside in February, and I'm cold in my house. I don't know what's going on. I better not be getting sick. I am a teacher, so that's probably why I saw teacher in there. But, okay. With Temperance, and I'm just going to, since it's next to the Chariot. This is you, going somewhere. You're in a vehicle. You're driving somewhere. Here, you're trying to balance things and mix things like we talked about. But this says, to me, since we're in a love reading, and she's got the wings just like on the wings of the chariot. This is about love and emotions because we have cups. What I see is that there's a returning lover. I don't know if it's going to be you. I think it is just because it's the chariot. It could be somebody else returning to you. But somebody's returning to someone else that they've been with and loved them after they've healed emotional wounds. And this is somebody who has gone through a struggle and they've made progress and now they're going to triumph. Or they're about to go through a struggle, but they're going to triumph again. So somebody probably hurt you and you've had to balance your emotions. And now that you've healed yourself or you've been healed somehow from this tragedy, you're actually going to go back to this person. Or if you know they did something to you, but then they started feeling guilty about it, kind of like the Nine of Swords, maybe, even though it's not in here. Maybe they're coming back to you after kind of healing themselves after doing something like that. Yeah, I just see a returning champion from an emotional wound. Or it could be you going off to heal yourself emotionally and get balanced. Because you're really just trying to bring opposing things together. And I love this. I mean, Cancers, you guys, like, you believe in things against all odds. I mean, one thing because you can't let go of the past, but just, we're good people here. Okay, the next one is Page of Wands in reverse. Okay, so here I see some kind of like stagnation, a lack of regenerating, lack of creativity, lack of enthusiasm. Because here we got, great love offer, great message, enthusiastic, positive, youthful. And here it's like, no, ain't happening. And I think it's the Temperance, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't really matter like which way it's facing. Yeah, with Temperance, like you hear you're foregoing like mindless pleasures. Like you just like, I don't care about that. I'm trying to heal myself here, guys, okay? I don't care about going off and drinking and having casual sex, whatever it might be. So because you're abstaining from that, it's going to give you like the youthful energy and vitality to keep going and the enthusiasm, just like somebody who's younger. Okay, like you used to be, perhaps. All right, but Page of Wands in reverse. Yeah, you're on this journey. You're traveling, probably to an old lover. Say, hey, I've healed myself of all this. And see, I see here, like, you have to give immunity to somebody in order to accomplish what you want, to accomplish your end goal, or even just to get justice. So somebody has to get immunity, and I think that's somebody who's hurt you before, or the person you're attracted to, your love interest. Okay, so, but here, I see there's a setback. Why do I keep throwing the cards? Maybe there's some kind of confusing message and you're just not really sure what to think. Because this is supposed to be messages and good news. And here it's like, not bad news, but like you are less than enthusiastic about the message you got or you're getting. It's just confusing. And again, this says don't take shortcuts. Okay, be diligent. Don't procrastinate. Just stay like this chariot. Stay in control and firm, even though there's a setback. Because remember, he's going to triumph. I mean, he's going to make progress, and then he's going to struggle, but then he'll triumph, okay? This talks about a relationship that's uncomfortable with a domineering person. And that uncomfortable emotion with the relationship has to be addressed. And right now it's just not. Because again, like there's no transformation going on right here. And if you're waiting on a message you're not getting, it's slowed down. You're very impatient and frustrated about it. Because either the message is delayed or you're getting a message about a delay. Perhaps you want to travel and see somebody long distance and they're like, well, I can't see you for a while because blah, blah, blah. And so you're frustrated. Yeah, because it talks about messages can change your plans. Something can burst your bubble. And I think the timing of this card, like wands to me represent, I think it's days or months. He's only got one wand. So it'd be 1 day, 1 month. But I think the timing that is like the consensus on this card is like 10 weeks. I'm not sure why though. Okay. So 1 day, 1 month, or 10 weeks. That's some kind of time, okay? Where this message, maybe you won't get this message until then. I mean, 10 weeks, that's almost 3 months. That's crazy long time. See, that's probably why you're impatient or frustrated. Now with the Fool, either when you're waiting for this message, or at the end, whenever you're the Fool, these two are almost the same card, okay? This is the Major Arcana, Minor Arcana. Okay. But initially you're the Fool in reverse, okay? And at the end, you're the Fool upright. So let's just pretend like this is the Fool in reverse, and we'll talk about that for a second. Being easily wounded. Losing hope, or you've lost hope. Like this setback has really lost hope for you. You just feel like doom and gloom. You could have some kind of an addiction, but there's like some kind of cyclical pattern going on. Yeah, I can see a little bit of cycles with the Temperance. Okay. And then with the stars, which represent 8 for me, which means cycles, cyclical things happening. But this may be your love interest right here. I mean, I think most of these are you, okay? Actually, they could all be you. But if this is representative of your love interest as well, this means that they're not transforming, they're not changing their mind. They're not being open-minded. And they're just stagnant and possibly fearful. This can talk about like loss of electricity, not as in actual electricity, just like sparks and passion. You may be losing that. And like there's like some kind of uneventful surprise. And sometimes it could be a betrayal. So if this is the person that could have betrayed you, or this could just represent the betrayal in general, but I see a person here. Could be drinking too much, like, because I see these as the same, but just in reverse. And like, you're not able to manifest this love you want easily. You're really trying to manifest it, but you're just not able to, okay? But it says you probably haven't missed your opportunity yet, okay? You could be stuck in some old beliefs, or they could be stuck in some old beliefs. They may have some kind of addiction, and just not being very prepared, and this is be prepared. And you seem like a person who has their stuff together, okay? So this just says, be prepared for what's coming up, some kind of setback. And it could just be too good to be true. That's how you feel, okay? And you want to be seen in a good light. You don't want to be seen as inferior. You feel like you can't follow your heart, and like this person is undependable because they're just giving you mixed messages. This talks about, stagnation, maybe a false start, okay? An end to a start. Oh, but I didn't tell you what the Fool is about. I'm sorry, I just started talking about this guy. All right, so with these combined together, you're even you're farther away from a traditional relationship than you have been, or it will be, but it's not really a bad thing. So maybe this traditional relationship is what you want, but you're just far away from it more than you thought you would be. at least by the end maybe, or with this setback, you feel like you're further away from it. You just feel let down and possibly indecisive. Could be procrastinating, you or this other person is procrastinating, making some kind of a move. Could be burnt out from all this lack of enthusiasm. You're just burnt out and disappointed, and you're mistrusting something. So you're probably going to have to change your plans from what you were planning to do. All right, let's go to the Seven of Wands. I'm going to talk about the Seven of Wands meant for the Chariot. So let's just talk about the Seven of Wands upright. You know, I see you taking your stance and defending your stance, okay?